welcome back to John Bachman Now. And it is Vice President Kamala Harris losing another staffer. It is the 10th one she has lost since June. This time it is Nancy McEldowney, the current national security advisor to the vice president, who is leaving Harris's office. That's according to a memo obtained by Reuters. Reuters is also reporting that McEldowney's deputy, Philip Gordon, will succeed her. She said in the memo she's resigning to focus on some pressing personal matters. Now, her departure comes after Harris's widely criticized trip to Poland and Romania in an effort, of course, to try and bolster support for NATO as Russia invades Ukraine. But maybe this is why her trip didn't go so well. Here she is speaking in Louisiana just yesterday.
We were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Did you get that? Let's welcome in our panel to talk about this, Democratic strategist and former Obama advance man Robin Biro. Also back with us, Morgan Zegers. She is the founder of Young Americans Against Socialism. All right, Robin, help me out here. I know we only have 4 minutes, so the passage of time is important for this segment. But, you know, when are they going to take the podium away from the vice president? Maybe that's the best course of action right now.
It's tough. And look, I was a frequent critic of former President Trump, who lost, as you know, 92% of his staff during his term. I think these jobs are just tough. And I do believe that McEldowney is leaving for pressing personal issues. But, you know, I also think it's fair to criticize Kamala Harris. I've heard rumors that this is a toxic environment. I heard the same kind of rumors when President Trump was in office as president. So, you know, it's worth asking the question, is it actually a toxic work environment?
Well, I think, you know, and I don't mean to be too glib about these word salad sound bites here, Morgan, but I think this is reflective you know, obviously the vice president relies on her staff members to prepare her, provide her with policy documents and brief her on what's going on. And what we've seen from these speeches is she's not prepared. So maybe this woman is leaving because her message is falling. She seems like a qualified person, and Kamala Harris just simply isn't listening to her.
Yeah, I think two things can be true at the same time here. This staffer could be leaving for her family reasons, but because this is such a repeated pattern in Kamala Harris's office, it's really hard for us to not question maybe there's some other factors leading into her decision to leave. Now, not only is this a bad message to be sending to hire somebody for a job based on their skin color or what they look like on the outside, what their gender is, because let's be honest, that's what President Biden said he was going to do when he picked a vice president. So this is a diversity hire. It wasn't a hire based on experience or quality of character. And so this very well may be a situation of her being a bad boss. I'm a big believer, especially in politics, you have to act in a way and lead in a way that encourages people to join you and partake in the efforts as well. And she can't seem to do that. She didn't do that in the election to encourage voters to support her in the primaries. And apparently she can't do it as an actual boss. So I hope this is a lesson for people that as voters, the only reason these diversity picks and this wokeism is allowed to be pushed on us in the elections is because we allow it to happen. We don't care enough. So if we put more effort and stopped letting these people in DC trick us into supporting these crazy people like Kamala Harris being picked based on her skin color, perhaps we'd be in a better spot. But it really starts with the American people demanding more from our politicians.
It's so true, Morgan. And we see that same kind of conversation happening now with the Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. If you want to talk about her background at all, you instantly get cast as a racist. When you just, you know, let's just talk about her judicial record. No, you're a racist. Here's an example. Here's Jimmy Kimmel, a former blackfacer, on his program last night.
These hearings, they give a number of our Republican senators a chance to compete in one of their favorite events, the subtle racism jamboree. And
you know, and that's always the stock response, Robin. We only have about 30 seconds for each of you, but I'll let you reply, and then we'll get Morgan for the last word.
Yeah, sure. I'm very excited about Ketanji Brown as the nominee. She was editor of the Harvard Law Review. She's definitely qualified.
Robin, and I want to get you to talk about Jimmy Kimmel there because we've talked about her qualifications.
Oh, he's disgusting.
You don't have. We got the rest of the media defending Judge Brown Jackson. We don't need you here for that. But this is the hypocrisy I wanted you to talk about, and it's
it is hypocrisy. It's disgusting.
And Morgan, it gets exhausting sometimes when you just want to talk about her record, and you want to bring up the fact that she was on the Harvard Law Review. That's fine and important in this conversation. But again, this is about her judicial record, not about her skin color.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, if you looked at what the GOP senators were saying, they were saying, listen, you had plenty of opportunities to pick someone that everybody could agree on that obviously was going to be more liberal and would vote on the liberal side. But there you go, picking somebody that is supported and funded by the most radical leftist groups in the country. So it's like they're trying to make things more divisive and hard by doing this. And it really doesn't seem like they're interested in unity. But when have they ever been interested in unity over the last years?
No, and I'm just happy we're not talking about high school calendars during this one.
Oh gosh, yeah, no joke.
We're all having a little, scary flashback.
God help us.
And no tears. And for the record, I like beer too. Anyway, Morgan, Robin, great to see you both. We'll talk next time.